first ever close chronology examination on my channel. Now I'm going to explain to you what that is and how it will work. Now you might think, isn't this guy copying somebody? Hasn't this already been done 1,000 times before? The answer is yes. But Cactus Malpractice, Mike the Snare, Billy Cobb, and the Needle Drop, they all don't have enough content to my liking, and also do not share many of the same opinions as me. Therefore, it is very hard to relate to their content. For example, Billy Cobb hates the early Beatles. Therefore, his opinion doesn't matter. Besides that, Mike the Snare, the creator of the original Deepest Cog Dive, has posted all of these videos. And they were all pretty good. I'm not going to lie. However, these artists are the ones that I care about. And as you can see, there aren't that many. In fact, out of this sample group, most of them I do not care about. However, I used this opportunity to expand my musical tastes. And now my musical tastes have expanded to being here. But what about artists like The Doors, Blink-182? God forbid they even talk about Yes. I've pleaded with Mike to do a Deepest Cog Dive on Yes for 3 months now, and he just isn't doing it. Now, he is a great content creator, and we're lucky we're getting one a month from him. We're lucky we're getting one a year from him. That's how much effort I anticipate making this kind of video is. However, he has not talked about many artists that I like. And so I thought, why don't I fix this problem myself by talking about the artists I like? So, in comes the close chronology examination, in which I will be talking about my favorite artists and explaining the history of said artists through their albums and the stories behind the albums themselves. Now, for artists that I anticipate having fun with and will enjoy doing more, I have created the closer chronology examination. And here are some artists that I have planned. I've planned to do a close chronology examination on Led Zeppelin, Dream Theater, Chicago, The Doors, Yes, and The Pants. Those are the artists I'm the most excited about making a close chronology examination for, and therefore we'll probably make a special about all of them. And I also have a few other specials planned for this series. Now, let's go to the wheel. And here we have the wheel, which will decide what artists we cover in our first ever close chronology examination. I am filming this before any script writing or anything has taken place. So I'm going into this blind, and I don't know what artist we are going to be covering. Are you ready? Let's find out together. We have a winner. That's right. Our first ever close chronology examination will be on the pants. Well, I did say I would make the Pants CCE a special, but since I make the rules here, and it would seem weird to start off the series with a special, this will just be a normal video. Unfortunately, there is no footage of the pants on the internet anywhere because they presumably never performed live. So for live footage, I will just be showing you concert footage of the members of the band on their solo ventures. Today, I will tell you the history of the pants. Who are the Pants? I can almost guarantee you haven't heard of them unless you're one of their 360 other monthly listeners on Spotify. According to lead singer and songwriter Richard Sean Lambourne, known by a stage name T-Mule, the Pants are a freak rock band. So what I've taken the meaning of that to be is that they're basically the crazier Nirvana and Blink-182 moments, but mixed with country. Originating in Kalamazoo, Michigan, the band has released 2 albums. The exact details of the writing and recording are opaque at best, but that hasn't stopped me from sleuthing. I found out that the Pants are composed of 3 main members: lead singer and guitarist T-Mule, multi-instrumentalist and co-lead singer Jason Haystack, and dobro player and bassist Mark Lavengood. The details of any other members ever being in the band I could not find on the surface-level internet, therefore I had to look closer. Ergo, I decided to add this to my close chronology examination list, and when I spun that wheel, I couldn't have been more excited to learn that I would be covering a truly underrated artist like the Pants. So here we go. Let's start with their first album from 2005, True Love. Released on July 30th, 2005, True Love, according to T-Mule, is a concept album that is an existential journey into true love and philosophy. Good start. By the way, T-Mule is the only source I have of this information because none of the other members post about the Pants on their social media pages. So from now on, any information I got about these albums that is not from Spotify is from T-Mule himself. Now that I have that cleared, I shall explain the recording history. The Pants used their crust-covered tentacles and brain units to write an album over the course of 40 hours, and then roped in friends and random ne'er-do-wells who happened to be hanging out at their filth ranch in Kalamazoo, Michigan, to record their scintillatingly symphonic odes to desperation. Lo and behold, upon the pressing of the record button, the substantially low-performing recording software that our heroes possess transmogrified into complete bupkis. The Pants were thus forced to flesh out their sopping vision of love, recording live to 2-track via 2 garbage microphones hot-wired into Microsoft Wave Editor, the world's least interesting recording software. Undaunted, they pressed on, forcing bass players to be drummers, drummers to play keyboards, and non-singers to sing. They were truly long dead by then. So basically, for those of you who lost me at Filth Ranch, T-Mule, Haystack, and Lavengood wrote all 14 songs in 48 hours. Is it that impressive? In my opinion, a little bit. There is some really good songwriting going on here, so I'm kind of impressed that these songwriting powerhouses were able to write this good of an album in 48 hours. But how good is it? Depends on what you define as good. For those who have listened to nothing but pop music since the day they were born, this will not sound good. The guitar sounds way too quiet and messy. So do the vocals, and you can barely even tell what T-Mule and Haystack are saying, and they're often singing different words over each other. The drums are not professionally mic'd in any capacity, and it sounds like they put one microphone at the opposite end of the room when they were recording the album, and judging by the story of recording, that's probably true. The bass is probably the only good thing to the ears of a pop music fan. It's mixed perfectly, but that in turn sacrifices the mixing quality of the other instruments. Additionally, throughout the whole album, there are places where the music is just randomly interrupted by cutting out dialogue and loud bangs and stuff like that. However, in my own opinion, whether intentional or not, it sonically sounds like you are sitting in the basement or garage where they recorded this and are watching them jam and try to perform to perfection this album that they wrote in 2 days. One of the promises I have is that I will always give at least a small mention to every single track on every album I discuss, because I was not happy when Mike the Snare did his review of American Idiot by Green Day and didn't talk about Homecoming. How do you do a review of American Idiot and not talk about the climax of the story within the album? That's just insane to me, okay? The point is, I will be doing a track-by-track review of every album I talk about. Here we go. I will give you, the viewers, the track-by-track album review that you deserve. Overture is in fact an overture. Not as profound a musical statement as The Who's Overture to Tommy, but it establishes at least one musical theme that we hear later. The Pants's return to Devour You is different. It begins with ukulele strums and then launches into a wacky synthesizer solo before a repeating chorus of voices sings the words of the title. Eventually screaming voices join in before a lot of grunting and then a second synth solo. Put Me on a Ship is a waltz about wanting to break up with a girl because she took the main character's sandwiches and avocados. I love the use of melodica. It really seems like a sea shanty. Adagio alla Marcia is an instrumental with an accordion and a flute, with a guitar and a snare drum. Long Dead by Then is a ballad. It is the longest song from the album and is also my favorite. I like the bass line, and there's even a bass solo in the song. It sounds like the most finished, and it is the best written. The sonic landscape is comparatively high fidelity to the rest of the album. Ladies of the Night is a funk rock song about ladies of the night. I can't really tell what they're saying, but the song is interesting. Ship, Reprise, is just a reprise of Put Me on a Ship. It's basically just that but less upbeat. It interestingly transitions into Price Tags, which is a pretty cool song about price tags. Not much else to say other than it transitions into The Pants Have Returned to Devour Us, which is just to devour you but more triumphant. It reprises the overture, and it transitions into You're Not a Bad Person, which is a ragtime piece of all things, that states that you're not a bad person if you don't like the Pants, they just don't like you. It yet again features the overture lyrics. Hi everyone, post-filming and currently editing Zeta's Gaming here. I forgot to talk about their song, The Real Philosophy section in the video, and so I will do so now. The Real Philosophy section instructs people to stop naming their bands after the Pants. This could refer to a band that is also called the Pants, based in Burlington, Vermont. If you like garage rock, you could check them out too. I'll Eat Your Meals, a song on the relatively longer side about a romantic partner who makes pretty questionable meals for the main character, featuring leeches and worms. Weird song. It transitions into She Was So Lovely, a song about a girl who the main character falls in love with and is immediately rejected by. She has very quirky characteristics that the main character finds attractive. This song, in my opinion, is the most technically impressive song for the entire album, especially that lead guitar part. It transitions into the last song of the album, Fin de Amor, which is a droning instrument over dissonant voices reprising You're Not a Bad Person, and the instrument is so cacophonous that a dog starts howling at the end. It fades away, and the album ends on a repeating triangle strike before the person playing it drops to the triangle, and the album ends on a low note. You can find the 16th anniversary version of this album on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or any other streaming service, but here's the big takeaway. This album is only 20 minutes long, so that may be good for any of you viewers that have short attention spans, but as someone who is super into prog, I didn't come back to this album after hearing it for the first time as much as I did with their next album, The Pants Aren't Dead. So there is not as much lore behind the creation of this album as there is for the creation of True Love. So as for the history of the album, there isn't much to say other than from looking at their Spotify artist description, where you can see that apparently the album was made in basements, lofts, and breweries that no longer exist, all in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Upon further inspection of Team Neil's Facebook page, I found out that it was actually recorded within 36 hours. There are also a few more details from the description that are very interesting, but I'll get to them later. So about the overall sound of this album. It's country folk inspired, with a lot of the garage rock sound from True Love, with greatly improved recording quality, with a few weird quirks, hints, twists, and flourishes throughout. I should mention that The Pants Aren't Dead is a concept album. It doesn't follow an exact storyline, but the themes and general narrative are basically this from what I have found. The Pants, yes, this band are done. They're going to break up, but then they are killed by aliens which speak in binary who arrive via asteroid. A DNA test is conducted, and it is found that the members have in fact been killed. At least one person cares about this, but most people hate them and jump on their graves. The Pants come back and haunt the Grave Jumpers, and this part is a stretch as it's not mentioned anywhere in the album, but is the only thing that makes sense. The ghosts possess the Grave Jumpers, then take a tractor to the moon in order to travel to the third dimension, scam the binary aliens with kerosene, and save the world, yet nobody cares because the binary-speaking aliens have hypnotized everyone on Earth into being under their control. The Pants save the world and reverse all of the damage. Then they leave the possessed bodies and linger on Earth for a bit before ascending to be the new rulers of the universe. Crazy story, right? What if I told you that it's actually told out of order in the album and I had to string together a story from what was mentioned in the various songs to make a cohesive narrative? You'd think I'm obsessed with this band, which I am. Thanks for noticing. Every time I mention the narrative from here on out, it is an assumption that it's true. Right from the opener Asteroid, you can tell that something is different. As I've already mentioned, and this applies to the rest of the album, it's nice to listen to, and Dobro player Mark Lavengood makes a rare vocal appearance on this song. It mentions the asteroid the aliens come down on, as well as the world being saved. We Don't Care If We Come Back At All / The Haunting is almost strictly country folk inspired. It's great to hear Lavengood shining with his Dobro work. The Haunting is cool with its wind chimes and electric pianos, and its reprisal of the outro to I'll Eat Your Meals from the previous album. It's told from the perspective of a grave jumper who was haunted by the Pants after celebrating their deaths. Tractor to the Moon is the biggest hit from the album for reasons I will get to later. It is a pretty funny song with how stupid and random it is to anyone hearing it for the first time. Narrative-wise, it plays into the story by calling this person's girlfriend or whomever his baby, and that he would take a tractor to the moon to save her and the rest of the world. Saving the World is a good song. It's pretty heavy, the guitar solo with the wah pedal is amazing. It's probably also the most radio-friendly song on the album. Radio stations, get on it. It of course talks about how the Pants save the world but nobody cares because they're all under control. Binary is about the aliens that speak in binary. They state that everybody wants to be like them and do the things they do, and this is because they hypnotize everybody. It transitions into the title track, which is about the moment the Pants die and how their bodies are found. It's interestingly blues-inspired. Also, the lyrics are really jarring if you hear it for the first time. The guitar solo is impressive, but not as great as the one on Saving the World. The third dimension is about the Pants finally reaching the third dimension and scamming the binary-speaking aliens. This is also the heaviest the Pants get throughout their discography, and it reminds me of Rage Against the Machine a bit. Breakfast is in the same vein as I'll Eat Your Meals, but it's just about making breakfast. Notice anything about this song? Yes, exactly. It doesn't play into the main theme at all. It's a nice quick diversion. However, the final song, Just Because the Pants Are Dead, is a nice closer to the album. It mentions almost every song of the album, and it's very instrumentally diverse. It has an acoustic guitar, an electric bass, a grand piano, a string section, and a dobro solo. At the end, those echoing piano notes with the wind sound will send a chill down your spine. They even reprise the haunting at the end, not only symbolizing the lingering of their spirits in their final ascension, but also teasing future music to come. The Pants Are Dead was released on November 13th, 2008 to no response commercially or critically, and then the band faded into freak country garage rock obscurity. You can find the 10th anniversary version of this album on Spotify.
Just because the pants are dead doesn't mean the pants are dead.
All it takes is a shot of whiskey.
After The Pants Aren't Dead was released, the members went their separate ways. T Mule joined folk rock band The Longest Day of the Year and put out 2 albums and an A and B-side single with them. Side note, The Longest Day of the Year might get their own examination, but I also want to cover more well-known artists. Anyway, T Mule also released a solo EP in 2017 under his own label, and he has been performing live and on radio stations in the Boulder area of Colorado. Mark Lavengood went straight to his own solo career, and he released 3 studio albums along with several singles. He also played with a large number of other musicians and is even followed by Todd freaking Rundgren on Instagram. Jason Haystack has foregone releasing music, and he notably has become the head cellarman of Founders Brewing Company. T Mule and Lavengood played a concert together in 2019. Then in 2020, the Pants finally got their well-deserved big break when on October 24th of that year, guitar YouTuber Steve Terraberry uploaded a video where he looked at the worst band names he could find on Spotify. This was his reaction.
You know what the best band name is? The Pants! The Pants! I'd probably listen to them more than I wear them. There are the pants, though. The pants situation. I have one of those. Okay, let's listen to the pants. 2 listeners, 1 listener per leg.
I take the tractor to the moon.
This led more and more people to come check out the Pants' Spotify page and listen to their music. I was one of these people. I definitely got a kick out of it. The influx of streamers led to a 13,433% increase in listeners. Teamil noticed this and posted about how shocked he was on his Facebook page. Another one of these listeners was the indie YouTube channel Brendan and Ale Music. He formed a band with his brother, or maybe his friend, I don't know which, but his name is Ale and the band is called the Presidential Residents. And then they together uploaded a cover of the song with some lyrics changed that honestly made me laugh as much as the first time I heard the original version.
Take a tractor to the moon for you.
Once again, not for the ears of pop music fans, but it's interesting. But if you like seeing brothers or friends jamming, definitely check it out, along with their original songs Barbecue Bacon Burger and Sasquatch in an Excavator. Back to the pants. When I reached out to Teamil, he said that the pants aren't quite done and he'd be happy to release the band's music physically. Additionally, he stated he hopes that the pants will make more songs soon. Well, hopefully more than just that. I'm just playing. I also can't help but notice that the Spotify page says they have other albums, plurally. It said this since before True Love was put on Spotify, but they have only released the 16th anniversary version of one album since The Pants Aren't Dead was released. So are we getting a third Pants album? Will it be a B-sides compilation of the first 2 albums, or will it be an album of all new material? I play every instrument in this room. Can I be honest? All of these questions have yet to be answered, but one thing is certain for me now. I'm content with their current discography that consists of their lo-fi garage rock debut and their dark and freaky follow-up. If you want to get into the pants, first extend your waistband to accommodate your body size. Then make sure that the pants are not inside out. Then make sure that the tag is at the back. Then insert your right leg in the rightmost sleeve. Then insert your left leg into the leftmost sleeve. Then adjust them to accommodate your body. However, if you want to enjoy the music of the band named The Pants, definitely start with The Pants Aren't Dead. Once you're well acquainted with the album, check out their other album, True Love, to hear the pants at their roughest and most human. Or you could listen to their 41-minute discography in one sitting. I have their best of playlist that I made in the description. I also have linked a playlist with their full discography in order, as well as their main Spotify profile and the script for the video that you're watching right now. I've linked my subreddit r/vloghouse and my Patreon too. Please consider donating if you liked this video and would enjoy seeing a video like this but with better production quality. If you don't feel like giving money to a 73 subscriber 15-year-old nobody, then I will have to thrive on your pressings of the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. I plan on doing more videos like this in the future, and I hope to see all 73 of you next time.
You should cook dinner for me.